And now we'll have Ms. Hannah Masuki to play a selection. Let's give our concert band and Hannah Masuki another round of applause. Great job. At this time, I would like to bring forward Miss Emily Junker, our Student Government Association President, and she's going to introduce you to our special guest. Emily Junker.
Good afternoon, Polytechnic. It is my distinct honor to introduce to you a very important person in our great city, Commissioner Darryl DeSousa. Commissioner Darryl DeSousa, a 30-year veteran of the Baltimore City Police Department, was officially sworn in as Baltimore City's 40th Police Commissioner on Wednesday, February 28th. Commissioner DeSousa is the city's third commissioner since the riots 3 years ago. I present to you Commissioner Darryl DeSousa.
So how many here are trying to guess how old I am? She said 30 years on the police department. You guys probably think I'm old, right? Yes, I am. Yeah, that was good. So listen, thank you for having me here. This is a wonderful school. I think this is probably one of the best schools in Baltimore for sure.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, is that I did not go to school here in Baltimore City. I was born and raised in New York. And I went to high school. It was called St. John's Prep. It was affiliated with St. John's University. A lot of my graduating classmates ended up going to St. John's University. But I graduated 35 years ago, and I came here to Baltimore. And I know just when I walked around the hallway and I came here, I was asking a couple of young ladies and some gentlemen about what school you plan on attending. I think a good portion of the front row here, and then my friend over here, I'm going to talk about you in a couple seconds, said you're not sure. And it's okay not to be sure what school you want to attend yet, because I didn't make my mind up until the very last minute, and I decided to come to Morgan State University. And I remember asking a young lady in the hallway, I'm not sure if she's in here, I said, hey, are you going to Morgan? And she said, no. And I said, wow. I said, why not? And she said that, well, the school colors are the same. And she said that all my friends here all my friends at Poly, I'll see at Morgan. And it's probably true, like a lot of my high school classmates are graduated from St. John's University, and they all stayed together and talked together. And I kind of like went out on my own. But I encourage you guys, when you graduate and when you pick your schools, don't be afraid to get out your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to pick a school on the West Coast. Don't be afraid to pick a school down south, or even pick a high school in New York City somewhere. I think it's, how many people graduating? 400 and so. My graduating class was, it was only 213 of us. It was a small group. But I'll say this is that, and the mayor says this all the time, the largest growing population in the country is 18 to 34-year-olds. And you all probably, what, 16, 17? 18? Okay. I turned 18 when I was in college. So I say that to say that you are the largest growing population in the world. Do you know what the next largest growing population in the world is? And someone's going to tease me when I say this. But it's 55 and older. I'm not 55 yet, but it's 55 and older. And I say this specifically to say that you all are the best and the brightest. Literally. And I really mean that. You all are the best and the brightest. And you all are the future leaders, not just here in Baltimore City, but you guys are the future leaders in the world. You don't realize that yet. You really don't. I'll say this, and I'll point out my friend right here in the front row. She said she was interested in Morgan State University, right? Ladies, y'all rule the world. You really do. Y'all really rule the world. My superhero, my role model, my mentor was my mom. She passed away 2 years ago, but she's still on my shoulder, and she still cheers me on each and every day. Ladies, you rule. We have a wonderful, the best mayor in the country, a lady, right? I got my friend over here that plays, and I just met her. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Anique plays the most difficult instrument, which is called the French horn. I just learned that today. So a lady. Right? And even as I look around the entire classroom, that it's really dominated by young ladies, and we need y'all. And there's no doubt in my mind that someone in this room, somebody in this very same room here, is going to be the next mayor of Baltimore City. Maybe not next 4 years from now, but it's going to be another young lady mayor in Baltimore City. There's going to be a president of the United States that's going to be a female. Females, ladies, you guys really are the best. And we could not do policing without you, and we would not have stable communities if it wasn't for you. So I want to say two more things before I get to the main point. I want to say, who knows what win means? Who knows what win means? Win. W-I-N. Win. W-I-N. Win. It means to win a game, right? Or to win a competition, or to get the highest score. So I took a bunch of police officers right after the Freddie Gray incident. I took them to the Baltimore Ravens training facility, and we sat in the auditorium just like this. And on the auditorium wall, there was a big poster that says win. And everybody was amazed. There's about 200 cops from the Western District. They were amazed that it said win. And Coach Harbaugh was up there, like I'm sitting up here now, saying, that's important. Who knows what win means? And everyone says, well, y'all playing the Pittsburgh on Sunday, you gotta win. And you're playing the Broncos, and you're playing all these teams, you gotta win. And Coach Harbaugh said, no, that's not what it means. Coach Harbaugh said it's an acronym. And the acronym stands for what's important now. And what's important now to you all is that you graduate, you go to college, and that you take over leadership. Literally, you are taking over leadership in Baltimore. You're taking over leadership in the world. And it may not kind of resonate right now, but you all gonna really be the next doctors, lawyers, attorneys, police, mayors, governors of the United States. And that's important. I mean, that's important for you to graduate and move on. The other thing is, who knows what now means? Who knows what now means? Not like now. So now is another acronym that's up on the wall at the Ravens training facility, and it stands for no opportunity wasted. And I want to take this opportunity, and in life, you can't waste it. And I want to take this opportunity to thank your principal for allowing the Baltimore Police Department to come in here and to say, and although you all are 18 years old, excuse me, I want to take the opportunity, I don't want to waste it, I want to take the opportunity to say that I apologize for all the bad things that police officers did, and we're going to improve to make it better. And my last point that I want to say is, and I really mean this from the bottom of my heart, it's too much violence in Baltimore City. I've been in this police department for 30 years. I attended 22 funerals for police officers. I witnessed over 8,000 young men, mostly men, lose their lives to violence in Baltimore City. And a good percentage of those, I actually went to funerals. A good percentage of these young men I'm talking about, I actually were my friends that I built these relationships growing up, and it's sad, it's too many. Last night we had 4 incidents in Baltimore City, all around 9 o'clock last night. And the 4 incidents resulted in 8 people getting shot. That's too much, it's way too much violence. And I'll say this, that you may not realize this now, that's how important school is. I don't know if any historian, any history majors are here, but I'm really what's called, I look into a lot of data and research, and there is a piece, and this is the last thing I'm going to say, is that there's something that's called social contagion. Who knows what that means? Social contagion. And social contagion is, it's a part of Baltimore that we have to fix when it comes to violence. So 61% of young men in the country have died as a result of negative social contagion. And 63% have been victims of non-fatal shootings. So what social contagion means is that the folks or the friends that you kind of like hang out with, you have to be very careful and very selective. And don't raise your hand. When I was a young man, I'll be the first to tell you, I had some friends that came to my house when I was in high school, when I was a senior, and said, and I have a twin brother, and they knocked on my door and they said, "Hey, twins, come on outside." And they said, "Twins, let's jump in the car." And my twin said no. I said yes. And of course, my twin is much smarter than me. He's a professor at Howard University. But I jumped in the car, and I just thought it was a friendly joyride. Little did I know the vehicle was a stolen vehicle. So I say that to say I'm very lucky. But please be careful in how you choose your friends, because it's going to impact you in a negative way. The last piece of information on social contagion, please keep this in the back of your mind. Ladies, y'all are good. I need to talk to the young men because this is not anecdotally, this is what I see on a regular basis, men in Baltimore City, that if I am a victim of an incident, a homicide or a non-fatal shooting, if I am a victim, right? History says that my friend who impacted me in a negative way, my friend, the infector, who impacted me in a negative way, will also be a victim of violence 4 months or less. 4 months or less. Don't be alarmed. Listen to what I'm saying. Please just be very mindful and don't be afraid to ask questions when you go on to college, when you graduate from college, what car you get into or who your friends are, and you have to make sure that your friends have your best interests, okay? If you get jammed up somehow, some way, do you think your friends are gonna come and bail you out and support you? No, it's gonna be your parents. So you owe it to yourselves. You guys are the best. You guys are the brightest. Ladies, you guys rock. You are the best. We need y'all each and every day to rule this world. And I am happy to be one of the first to say congratulations on June 3rd graduation. Oh. Your principal, she's the best principal in Baltimore City. She did whisper in my ear that the graduation was moved back from June 3rd to August 3rd, but that means you just have one more. I'm teasing though. I'm joking. I'm joking. So listen, my door is open. My door is open at the police department for anybody in this room that has any questions or concerns about policing in Baltimore City. We have to make a change, and that change comes with you. And I said this, listen to this one last part right here, please. I said this to my commanders, listen very carefully, y'all, on this part. I said this to my police commanders 2 weeks ago at a training facility when I had training for them in shaping a new direction for Baltimore City. I said to them that I'm fixing this police department for 7 years from now, not tomorrow, for 7 years. Yeah, we're gonna fix things right away, but I'm shaping the police department 7 years from now. I'm not gonna be here 7 years from now. Officer Zayas is not gonna be here. Officer Beal is not gonna be in the police department for 7 years from now. But guess who's gonna be in the police department 7 years from now? You guys. So we're trying to make it a better police department for you. Thank you guys and congratulations.
It is my distinct honor to introduce another very important person in our city. Oh, the other one. Okay. It is my distinct honor to introduce to you another very important person in our great city, Mayor Catherine Pugh. Mayor Pugh has been a public servant in Baltimore City for more than 15 years and was sworn in as the 50th mayor of Baltimore City on December 6, 2016. Mayor Pugh is the visionary founder of the Baltimore Design School, a public school for 6th through 12th graders. Mayor Pugh holds an MBA from Morgan State University and has been recognized for her leadership by numerous local and national organizations. I present to you Mayor Catherine Pugh.
Good afternoon. How's everybody? Great. So I play a little bit of piano. Does anybody in the orchestra play the oboe? All right. Now, I heard that the French horn was a hard instrument to learn, but I can tell you the oboe is a real hard instrument to learn. So let me just say congratulations to all of you all in the orchestra, an excellent job, and to our pianists, thank you so much for entertaining us. I want to say a few things. First of all, I just came back from Washington, D.C., speaking at the National League of Cities to over 1,000 young people about how to create their own businesses and how their businesses can be supported. And the woman who introduced me said the reason we want the mayor to be here is because we heard her at our winter conference and we thought it was important for her to shed some words with us. But I couldn't wait to get back here to Poly because you all are getting ready to graduate and I'm really excited about that. Give yourselves a round of applause. Your future is the most important element for our city to be concerned about. Many of you know that we made Baltimore City Community College free. And the reason we did that is because there are some folks who can't afford to send their children to college. But I believe that every child deserves an opportunity, if they so choose to go to college. Now, everybody may not go, am I correct? Everybody may not go, but everybody should have the opportunity to go. Some of you will go to Morgan State University. Some will go to Towson State University. Some will go to Coppin. Some will go out of state. Some will go to the University of Maryland. Some will go to Hopkins. And so I want you all to know that I came here as an out-of-state student to attend Morgan State University. And I could not have been more blessed. But let me also say this to you all. What you choose to do in life is up to you. Education is that preparation that allows you to do anything that you so desire. And one of the things that my parents used to say to me is get a good education. And I can tell you that education has equipped me not only to run this city, but to have done all the things I did prior to. A former banker, a business owner and current business owner, ran 9 radio stations, 2 television stations, a talk show host, owned a newspaper, the only special editor that the Baltimore Sun has ever had, and run a small business college. And I always said to people, I never said no to an opportunity, and I've always felt equipped because of my education to do anything I so choose. I'm also very excited because one of the things that I think is important is to prepare our young people. How many people have worked in Youth Works before? 14,000 young people applied for Youth Works this year. 12,000 applied last year. 9,000 followed through. But do you know what that means? Our city can't afford to make sure those children work. So I went out to the business community and said it is important for our young people to work. And so I raised the money, as I will raise the money for the 16,500 young people who applied this year to go to work. On May the 9th, how many people know about May the 9th? Now, as seniors, you all should know this. Please write this down. On May the 9th, we will hold the first job fair ever for graduating seniors. For graduating seniors. And this is what I've said to the business community, to our city agencies, hire our young people. Hire our young people. Because we have a responsibility to lift you all up and to push you forward. And so I'm excited about that opportunity because I want to make sure you're either going to college you're going to work, or you're going to the armed services, or you're entering into an internship program or an apprenticeship program. This year, we're creating in the police department, because many of you know you can't become police officers until you're 21. So we're creating an apprenticeship program to go along with the police department so that we can get young people interested in becoming police officers from our city, in our city. And so hopefully you'll take a look at that as well. And let me just conclude with this. On one occasion, on my way to an event, I ran across a young man standing on the corner. He was 14 years old. Now, you all know about squeegeeing, right? Well, he was squeegeeing at 10 a.m. in the morning. So I stopped the car and I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm trying to make a little money." I said, "I need you to get to school and get to school now." What I later found out is that this young man was homeless and his mother was drug addicted. And what I want you all to know, he asked me for a job, while we got him a job, we also provided wraparound services for his family. Only to learn later that not only was his mother drug addicted, one of her other children at birth was put in foster care because they were born drug addicted. Today, he's in foster care with a wonderful family. What I want you all to understand is that I need you all to be slow to judge and be willing to lift each other up. When schools closed because the pipes were frozen, one of the first things I said to our CEO, "Tell me where the children who come to school daily," and that may not be your problem, "where do they eat?" And the response was that there was a policy in place that said we don't feed children until they're out of school for 3 days. But here's what I need y'all to understand. Homeless children are in our system. Poor children are in our system. So I said from here on out, whenever the schools close, the recreation centers open, make sure our children have their meals every day. And so I know that on March the 24th, there is a national march in Washington. And you heard the commissioner say, too many crimes on the streets of our city. Too many victims on the streets of our city. One day I was just flipping through Facebook and I heard a woman just screaming. And she said, "Nobody hears me. Nobody understands. I am in pain. I lost my son to gun violence on the streets of Baltimore in 2015, and I can't get through this pain." The pain that she's suffering is the same pain that sisters and brothers and mothers and fathers all across our city are suffering. Weapons of destruction don't belong on our streets. 89% of the individuals who come in contact with the criminal justice system have been in contact with the criminal justice system 9 to 11 times. And so the young people who want to go to Washington, D.C., like all the young people from California, from New York, from Chicago, from Florida, from all across this country, the young people in Baltimore who want to go to Washington, D.C., on March the 24th, I can tell you that the private sector, not tax dollars, but the private sector has provided buses, food, and t-shirts so our Baltimore young people can be in Washington, D.C. So I want to leave you with this. You are our leaders. You are our future. It's what you do every single day that defines you. So be excited for your future as I am excited for you. and more importantly, I look forward to June the 3rd. Go Poly!
As a token of our appreciation, we would like to present these gifts to Commissioner Sousa and Mayor Catherine Pugh. Thank you very much.
So let's thank Commissioner Sousa and Mayor Pugh for those kind words of wisdom. Thank you so much. Encouraging words to move us forward.